Hey, how's it going? This is John coming at you again from inside the garage. Well, actually, I'm inside of my car. It's kind of an odd place to start a video about a rear axle, but here we are. Main thing I wanted to do in here was to check the mileage of how many miles I have on this axle. It is a Hawks 8.8 that they have put the F-body fittings for in order to mounted in an F-body. I had installed it at 101,540 miles, and currently the car has 105,430. Let's turn it around here so you can see. 105,430. So let's get under this thing and check it out and see what we got here. So with this one, get my light on here. This one, I went ahead and put some upgrades on it. As you can see from first look, I did get the studded girdle. It is a must if you're really putting any kind of power down. You know, if you ever plan on putting any kind of sticky tires on it, you really need the girdle. It helps keep the carrier in place when the power is applied to it all at once, like on a manual transmission like this one. Manual transmissions tend to be hard on rear axles. It's just a little bit more extra safety, I guess, to help keep it intact. One of the other upgrades that I got that I really liked was the sway bar mounts. I went ahead and got the sway bar mounts welded on. It's much nicer this way. Looks better than you know, with the hook going over it. I think it was a cheap upgrade, and it's one that I would recommend. With this one also, I got the lower control arm bracket. I don't know, I can't remember if it comes stock on this or on this axle or not, the longer bracket. But this one has 3 different holes where you can put your control arm in different places in order to get a more or less angle. With mine, I went ahead and I just put mine in the second one. That was plenty for me. On this one, another option that I would highly recommend is I got mine powder coated. It's kind of a little dirty, but on this one, it just makes it look so much nicer. I had a 12 bolt from someone else before, and on the 12 bolt I painted it myself. The paint didn't last. This powder coating has lasted pretty well. This car didn't get driven very much, but like I'd said on the mileage, right now it's got 3890, almost 4,000 miles on it, and it's held up well. I would highly recommend that. With this one, actually, you can probably see a little bit of oil residue. I got a little bit of a leak. I think that it's coming from the front pinion seal. It's the only downside I see about this one. In the 4,000 miles, it has gotten a little bit of a whine. I can only hear it in 6th gear when I'm running at like highway speeds. And I'll be honest, I don't care about that. That doesn't hurt my feelings whatsoever. You know, I've like many of us F-body guys, I have dealt with a lot of gear whine for years and years, and a little bit of gear whine at highway speeds is not going to hurt my feelings whatsoever. On mine, what I did was for the ABS, I sent in my backing plates to Hawks, and I had them go ahead and install it on this rear axle, so when it came to me, it was ready to rock. I thought that was a good idea. One thing, actually, on mine, I can't really see it, but the boot for the park and brake on mine was like deteriorated. It was completely gone. I called Hawks and had them add that onto my order, which they ended up sending it separate because my axle was already shipped. And And I don't remember how much it cost. It was not very much, and it was totally worth it. I try to take good care of my car, and I try to take care of the little details like that. And that was one little detail that I didn't mind spending a little bit of more money on. Definitely a good option on that. So the only two downsides I would say on this is that pinion seal has leaked a little bit. I have a new gasket cover that I need to put on there, and actually, I tell you what, it kind of looks like I'm seeing now. It kind of looks like it might be coming from the fill hole, but I'm not sure. I'll take it off and I'll put a new pinion seal on it, put a new gasket on it, and seal it all up and make sure it's not going to leak anymore. So that was one thing. The other thing is that don't know if I'm going to be able to show you or not. Let's try. On here, up under this bracket that they make onto the front of it is kind of big, and where they bolt on the torque arm, and mine has actually punched a little bit of a hole in my let me come around here. Punched a little bit of a hole in the floor pan. It's not that bad, but when I hit a big bump, you can hear it pound sometimes. It's right there. But yeah, so it's a little bit big. My car's only lowered maybe about an inch and a half, so it's not that bad. I really would recommend this. So the big question is, on a scale of 1 to 5 wrenches, how many wrenches would I rate this at? Actually, don't have any wrenches back here, but I'd rate it at 5 wrenches. The guys at Hawks, I bought several things from them. Really like them. Great customer service. I think I had communicated with Tyler Hawkins on this, and he did a great job. So shout out to the guys at Hawks Performance. I would highly recommend this. And I will say that for the 8.8, the reason I went with the 8.8 over a 9-inch is that it eats less power. This is a street car. I rarely take it to the drag strip. I play around sometimes on the street, but not much. But I needed something that would handle, it's putting down about 400 horsepower, 2 wheels, nothing crazy, but it's rated way past that. This will last me quite a while. Wanted something that wasn't going to eat up so much power, still be, decent on fuel economy. Not that I really care a whole lot about that, but it's been a really good purchase. It's not nearly as heavy as the 9-inch from what I understand, or the Dana style rear axles. So the 8.8, that was it for me. And I know a lot of the Mustang guys, a lot of times what they'll do on these solid rear axles is just put the girdle on them, put Moser axles, and it's pretty much bulletproof. So really that's what I've done. Really like this rear axle. The only problem with it is I wish I would have done it sooner. I think currently I've had this one since a little over 3 years, like 4,000 miles, but I really should have bought this maybe 10 or 15 years ago. Would have been a much smarter decision on my part. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching, like and subscribe, and see you guys again soon from the garage.